Hey, everybody needs to have a wonderful yard. If you're going to have a wonderful castle, you better have a yard, a lawn that looks great. We brought an expert here who's going to talk about it. Welcome everyone to the Your Little Castle Show. I am one that enjoys, imagine a baseball player who doesn't love a beautiful baseball yard lawn. I've had an affinity for grass and beautiful yards my entire life, and I guess it does go back to the fact that I've been such an avid baseball player. But my dad had great skills, got out the lawnmower, he would stripe the yard and put up and all that stuff. But everybody likes to see a beautiful yard at the residence, at their home, at the facility, at their apartment complex, wherever it is. And so with that, we decided to bring in an expert here that can talk to us a little bit about it, because this is not an easy task. You've got 12 years experience, right?
Yeah, I got 12 years of experience. I started off right after high school. I started working for a company. I started off, learning from older people. So that kind of accommodated me to get, the work ethic. So I started, just basic trimming the bushes, helping people out. And then I was like, I have to start doing this by myself. Yeah. I have to start helping people. I have to start growing opportunities. I feel like I definitely got pointed in the right direction.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Welcome to the studio, Francisco from Francisco's Lawn and Maintenance. His last name is Estrada. No relation to Mr. Eric Estrada, but he's better looking than Eric, I think. But with his experience and what he has with regard to lawn care, we're glad you made it into the studio. With that, we always give a shout out, Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things in your little castle. And this little castle you have very likely has an area for a lawn. And so with that, you can see we like to have people have a beautiful lawn. You might have a lawn, and you've got a brand new great looking website here. We're going to put this up on the wall for everybody to check out. But you can see a beautiful trailer there. And franciscoslawn.com, Francisco's Lawn Maintenance. Welcome again to the Your Little Castle studio.
Thank you.
All right, with that, let's dive in here. I always like to get back into a little bit of the history. But you said 12 years ago, and this is like right out of high school. You said, You said, I want to walk me from. Why did you decide? How did you get in that initially?
So I started, I started looking for a summer job. My uncle, he worked for a big landscaping company, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, I really like the outdoors. Ever since I was little, I used to like to play soccer. I used to like the outdoors, to smell the grass. So I asked him, I was like, can you help me get a job? Can you help me, get into this field? I really like the adrenaline of cutting grass, using the mowers, using the trimmers, more extensive work. I just, sitting in an office wasn't for me. No offense to others, that do like it, but, I just like to experience the outdoors.
Well, it was a great path for you, because we can show some excellent work, some incredible reviews. He's got 111 reviews, everybody. And one of them, the guy, everybody's got that one person. Wasn't even a customer of yours, right?
Wasn't even a customer.
So he's got straight across the board 5.0 reviews. That's dynamite. Well, then, what do you think is that has led to your success, that created the successful business you've launched here now? You've had your own business now for 6 years, is that right?
6 years. I started during the COVID season, and it just kind of took off from there. I started doing small, going out, cutting the grass, then started doing more extensive work, mulching, hedge trimming. Then that led to the next thing, which was starting to do stone edging, retaining walls, patios, and I would just do pretty much about everything.
Okay, so you'll do some landscaping for people.
We do landscaping. We do complete landscape tear-outs. We do anything from installation, removal, design. Anything, you name it.
Well, that's good to know, because a lot of people, they want not just the yard to look great, but they want their whole landscape, because you got to have retaining walls like you talked about.
Absolutely.
What do you make most of your retaining walls out of these days?
So we do a lot of retaining wall. We use Versalock blocks, which is the ones I recommend. We install drainage system to support that wall. A lot of people, we've seen in the past a lot of walls deteriorate due to lack of proper installation, materials. So we always just, prepare, make sure it's sturdy, make sure it's, it lasts for many, many years. Because at the end of the day, a retaining wall is an investment. It adds values to properties.
Yeah, how often is it the case that the water drainage becomes a problem and they don't design, somebody doesn't know what they're doing, they'll put in a retaining wall or any kind of wall for their related plants or whatever, and because the water that runs through there, they don't, they didn't build it to test it and spray a bunch of water down there to see what it does, and then years later the erosion causes the whole thing to collapse.
Absolutely, and also even around properties, even around the house, a lot of people don't. They go into new houses and their grade is uneven. Their houses are 40, 50, 60, even 70 years old. The grade is very uneven, so we definitely make sure the grade goes away from the house. Build a wall. We build a wall, and then we also install a drainage system, so that way it protects the foundation, it protects the property, it protects you don't want to pool in your basement.
If you know. A pool, I don't know how many people put a pool in their basement, you're right. But you could have, if you had an actual pool, or if you put a hot tub in there, okay. But you're not trying to have a flood of water coming up along the walls. It's just not designed for that. Yeah, that's a good point. But and that can happen because of the way the water is running off along the sides of the houses. It comes around, and you have water erosion that causes problems. Don't want that.
Absolutely not. So yeah, I always feel like necessarily, getting your property straight, getting an inspection, contacting us, we'll come out, we evaluate the situation, make sure that everything's on the right track, make sure there's no issues ruining your property, because properties are expensive, whether it's your business, whether it's your residential, whether it could be anything.
Yeah, the idea is that you're improving the value of your property so that you can have a place to live and then inherit or give it on to the kids and or borrow equity against and potentially retire with, and so you can create great damage to a house if you don't have your landscaping done correctly.
Absolutely.
And the lawn maintenance as well. But we talked about it a little bit before. You have actually been doing this for 12 years, right out of high school, and then 6 years of your own business. Of the last 6 years running your own business, what do you think has led to the success, and what have you learned by running your own business now? You have more control, I guess, right?
So obviously, whenever you start, everything's a stepping stone. The first step is the biggest step. I always feel that it's the biggest step because it comes with risk. I'm coming from a company where I had, secure income, I had good benefits, and it's that risks that you take that, it's you're out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, right.
You're out of your comfort zone, and definitely being out of your comfort zone, it's scary because it's you're new. You don't know how taxes work. You don't know how everything works. Going out doing the work is one thing. I mastered that. Now it comes back to the office, which is managing schedules, managing employees, taxes, expenses, all of that is a whole different ballpark. So it was definitely scary, and it throughout the years I got the hang of it.
Well, you took the leap, and that's what we talk about. We're an advocate for small business because they do. You're taking a big. It's a big challenge for you a big risk for you to go out and start a company and serve customers and answer to everybody and to hit 111 reviews. We talked about that. We'll show that up there a little bit. But tell me a little bit about your team. Obviously, you've taken a long time to develop a team. And how big is your team? Or how big have you had different sizes as a matter of what time, where you were with your business? What level are you most comfortable with? How many people you have working for you?
So I definitely, what I do for my business to make sure it's headed the right way and to make sure we're delivering the quality that we want our customers to receive, I always, as I'm needing employees, I recruit them. So it first started just me going out. I was cutting grass till like 10 p.m. every day,
right.
From 7 in the morning till 10 p.m. every day. Once I noticed that was too much on me, where it was affecting me communicating with clients, getting back to them, and organizing and building, that's when I added my second employee. That second employee definitely took some weight off of my back, and that's how I started to expand that. Took some time down. I could organize schedules and expand services. So basically, as I'm needing, I'm growing. Started off just me 6 years ago, and now we have a total of eight employees. So it's.
Oh wow! Okay, so yeah, when you've gone from 1 to 8, that's 800% growth, and that's a tremendous amount of responsibility. But
yes.
How has your team helped you with the growth overall to generating revenue and to making customers very happy?
So it's just, I always say, treat your employees great, and they'll treat you better. So I mean, I definitely. I've worked, you know, in
Write that one down. I like that one.
absolutely. So, you know, you treat your employees great, they're going to treat you better. So you show them you care, they're going to care about your tools, your equipment, your trucks, your trailers, and the jobs. You know, I've heard from different, you know, feedback when I'm interviewing employees. They get treated bad out there, you know, in the field. You know, they don't value them. They're out there working 100-degree weathers. They're out there working negative 10-degree weathers in the winter when we're doing snow removal. So I always make sure they're, you know, give them what they're worth, value them, because, you know, they're valuing, you know, they're adding value to the business, adding value to my family, to everything. Why not give that back and treat them well?
Well said, yeah, because these are the people that are helping you to grow the business, to help your customers, and to make sure that everybody's happy. You should obviously spend some time there. What about this business fuels your passion? Is this something you had as a child, and this is something that's developed now into a career? What is your passion for this that makes you wake up every day?
So my motivation right now is I just want to be able to provide a good, you know, living for my family. For, you know, I came from Mexico when I was 4 years old, so that struggle was always there. So watching my parents work full-time job, working, you know, 80 hours, I would barely see them. You know, my dad wouldn't get home till midnight. I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be like that for my kids. So landscaping, mowing, being in the outdoors really, you know, grew on me. So I decided to pursue that.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've taken the right path, and it's something that you've obviously performed well with, and very great success. I've rare to see a small business who has quite the amount of response with reviews that you've had, and especially because they're all over the place too. We thought,
Thank you.
They said there's about 300. There's 111 just on Google, but you have them on a number of the other ancillary sites out there that talk about all the different home-related stuff that people get done, and that's really just very exciting to see somebody who's gotten such great results with that. With that, we're going to show off a little bit. We're going to go to the Google reviews, and we've got actually, I think we just Phil helped me out here. Nextdoor has got a lot of great reviews here, so I'll go out to the wide screen here, and you can see a lot of the great information there that people have. I'll put this on the screen for everybody to take a look at here, but take a look here. It makes you feel good to see so many great things being said about the guests on our show here. But most importantly, and here you can see a lot of that feedback, but if you go over here to your Google, like I said, it's hard to find small business owners that have this many reviews on Google. Being in business as a small business is tough, but let's go ahead and grab one of these. Fantastic work. Francisco is attentive, detailed, and walks through the process step by step, making sure you don't have a single doubt. The team transformed my front yard, receiving cracked concrete sidewalks and replacing with a paver walkway. Can't wait for them to build my patio in my backyard. 5.0 on that one, and they're just on, as you can see, all of what people. How does that make you feel to see the response you've gotten there?
I feel proud of my team, proud of how we came from something just a grain of salt to now filling up the jar. So I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm excited to what's more to come.
Well, yeah, there's a lot that, like I said, I'm gonna scroll through these. You can just take a look here, and it's great to see small businesses paying so much attention to the work that needs to be done and to get those kinds of reviews. And we've all had that one crazy review from someone makes you motivated to go out and say, we got to do more. And me too, with somebody who was never even on our show.
Yeah, same with us.
We just had called them, and they decided, I think everything should be free. And we're like, that's not true. That's not how the business world works. But thank you for that, and we appreciate that. With that, we've got a lot of fun community stuff. We've been partaking in our little area here, and we like to enjoy highlighting the different leaders. So if you know anyone who happens to be a leader in the community, somebody that is making a difference, somebody that's running a charity, somebody that's doing good work to embrace and talk with the world from a community standpoint and making a difference to impact our community, let us know. We might put them on our show here. But stay tuned for this. We've got some fun in the. Hey everybody, guess what? We get to have fun all the time at the Cardinal games. Before the game, we get to hang out with fun super fans. Say hello to my buddy Nino over here, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie. That's right. Everybody's in the video here. Family coming out to the game. Nino, what do you love about going to Cardinal games?
You love baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves baseball. Hey, he's all right. Scoring points with the Cardinal Cowboy.
Yeah, he plays Miracle League baseball.
Do you really?
And he likes to be on the Cardinals team at home.
Yeah.
Wow, Dino, how many times have you been on that team? How many times have you done that?
A lot.
A lot.
That's a good answer. All right. Dan, what's it like coming to the Cardinal games with your son and your wife and all the fun you get to have down here?
Oh, it's the most fun. I mean, we've been coming since Old Bush. You know, now we've got New Bush Stadium. It's the best baseball town, and it's the most fun. You know, it's fun before the game. The games are always great, and we love it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time here. We're at Patios, everybody. This is where the most fun is. I get to wear the full outfit here. I got the pants, the socks, the arch, Nino, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie all here, and we're outside Patios having fun. Hey, say hi to Patios. Stop on by here before a Cardinal game, and we'll see you guys soon. Nino, give me some knuckles. There we go. Go Cardinals. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle Show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com. And if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds. And you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show. And there is no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. So welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we get to highlight these leaders in our community, and we get to work with a lot of different organizations. Nino, my buddy down there at Patios, and his family going to the Cardinal game before the game, hanging out. And after the game, too, you'll see me there just about every game. But give me a quick cost analysis. When somebody wants to get their lawn cut, obviously there's a cost to that. But people cut their own lawns very often. I've still done that for many years, and by now the older I get, I'm like, why should I continue to do this? But give me that breakdown and what people risk by cutting corners, and why should somebody pay to have this done properly?
So what I always say is, how important is your lawn to you? How important is your lawn to you? I always say, attention to detail is what we specialize in. So we don't just show up, cut the grass, weed eat what we see, and blow and we're done. So I definitely feel like attention to detail comes with a price. Comes with a price because it takes time to do it. Everything costs now a lot. So we've had a lot of clients where we're a little bit more cost effective. No, and other clients are, they find a cheaper company, thinking the price, but then the quality drops. So
Right.
we do everything from mowing the lawn, double cut if necessary to avoid any clumps, any dead grass that will at the end of the day cause termites and cause dead spots in your lawn.
Interesting.
So we double cut, we edge, we trim, we pull the weeds we trim the weeds on the driveway and sidewalk cracks, we pull the weeds in the landscaping beds, and all of that comes with a whole maintenance price.
Okay, yeah. And when you come down to it, there's just so much more that when you're an expert, it's like anything else. If I have a profession, stick with your profession. That's what you do. But don't try to take a side job and do it as well as somebody who does this full time as a profession. Because there are things I never heard about that, cutting the grass twice to keep the clumps from coming around, because then that's where the bugs, termites.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely what I think is more important whenever cutting the grass. Double cutting, sometimes even triple cut in the spring and the growing months, and then if there's any grass left, just kind of blow it off. That way it stays nice and clear. Blow the edges on the sidewalk, blow everything away from the house, from the windows, from the landscaping beds. Not going out there mowing, throwing everything in the mulch beds, and then now you don't know where your grass starts or where it ends. So definitely attention to detail to that. Shrubberies, shrub trimming as well is another maintenance job that we feel it's necessary, and it keeps your property looking presentable and neat.
Yeah. Well, that's how you want things to look, because you don't want to decrease the value of your house. You want to improve the value of your house, everybody, right? So might as well get this done professionally and to look the part. And some landscaping, obviously, you can take care and manage for everybody, too. Those two coincide very often. Tell me then specifically, why should somebody choose your company? Tell me the benefits you bring to people.
They should hire us because we're very attentive to detail. We're very consistent. You don't ever need to worry whether we're going to show up to cut the grass or not. You don't need to be chasing us. We're very responsible. Say that if we're at your property, because accidents do happen, anything can happen. If we accidentally hit like a window or something, we'll try to catch it before it even gets to you. So we had an incident last season where one of my guys was trimming and he accidentally broke a window. Well, the client didn't even know. We reached out, took a picture. By the time I reached out to the client, I already had somebody fixing it. So that's what we try to do. I just make sure I take care of you. I mean, clients take care of us. Why not take care of them and build that trust? Because at the end of the day, this is trust. Like I always say, trust is the hardest thing to build and the fastest thing to lose.
You can lose your trust pretty quickly with one big mistake. And
exactly.
so with all the work you can see here, we've put up on the wall here those incredible list of reviews and a great looking website here. But people can find a lot of information. We'll go over the website a little bit here in a minute too. But you really are on the ball with regard to paying attention to making sure that your customers are taken care of, and they want their yard, their lawn to look beautiful. And why wouldn't you have a professional organization come in to do that? What specific certifications or licenses do you have? Do you need insurance, bonded, all the important things about that? Tell me more about that.
So we're licensed and insured. We're licensed and insured to cover, we don't only do residential, we do commercial. So,
Okay.
Being in the commercial business, they ask for insurance, make sure we're licensed and insured to cover any damage to the property or to people parked at their businesses. So we're definitely covered. We're any mistake we make, we're 100%, we're fixing it. You don't got to worry about us, showing up as like a weekend warrior. I support the weekend warriors, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But a lot of them, I've ran into a lot of people where, hey, my last guy, he showed up, busted my window, ran into my gutter, and then I called him and he never showed up again. You don't got to worry about that. So we're fully licensed, we're insured. We, like I said, anything we catch on the eye or even anything we notice, we let you know. And even we also protect ourselves from the previous business. Before, I come out and give you a quote, I walk the property, I make sure there's not any damage on the siding, anything that's broken. That way our guys aren't held accountable as well. So it's definitely a trust from us and the client, and we always hope to be the best candidate to you, your family, and making sure you enjoy a weekend out.
Well, But yeah, like I said, everybody loves their wonderful outdoors and have a great looking yard. I have somebody who close to me where I saw the yard yesterday. I'm like, did they just turn it all up? There's no grass, so and it's easy to destroy a yard if you don't properly maintain it. But
Absolutely.
Getting that in position and having everything set up and the watering and all the nutrients necessary, you've got a system for all of that to make sure that their yard looks beautiful.
Absolutely. We also do in the spring. We do sprinkler turn on, so we make sure your sprinklers turn on. We do a shut off in the winter. The last thing you want in the winter is leave your sprinklers on and have them freeze up and you have a busted line, and that's a pain in the butt.
Sure, yeah. How often is it the case that because if people are going to spend the money to get a sprinkler system, you want to make sure it's properly pressurized and spraying and covering the yard. How many times do we see those sprinklers that are spraying up in the air and they're blowing over somewhere else and getting the street all a nice runoff on the street, but they're not actually watering the yard that they're supposed to.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll help people to maintain those as well.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we're very, we educate our clients. We make sure that, everything gets, they get the right information to keep their lawn, to its best. Especially if they're investing in fertilizing, we make sure we talk to the client and let them know the watering scheduling, because a lot of people will fertilize and not have a irrigation system. Now you have a yellow lawn because the chemicals burned it. So we provide the best information, the best, making sure, you guys fully understand and aware of any mistakes that can happen.
That's important. And how often is it the case that again, there's so much to know about anything that you want to be good at, and so when you're spending the time trying to figure out how to not burn the lawn, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Don't over fertilize, I guess is what you're saying. When to fertilize. We had people who have been on and talk about there's the right times of season. You've got to do this in the right quantities in the right time frame, or else you're wasting a lot of your time and energy as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. I always feel that it's, you get the right information. I know a lot of businesses that go out and they don't provide the right information, and now I have to show up and fix their mistakes. And I mean, we don't mind doing it. We're happy to do it, but it's just information for the customers to kind of pick up on.
Well, we talked about that. Yeah, make sure that things are getting done correctly the right way and with the right expertise in position to do that. So with that, we've got on the wall here a nice, beautiful website, and it's going to be completely finished here in a week or so. But lots of great information out there for everybody as well. Tell me then, what do you think, again, back to what are the benefits of working with a small business owner like yourself and what you bring to the table, as opposed to a lot of the big national guys who love them, but you get to pay a lot more attention. Tell me what you bring to the table there. We've got about 30 seconds left.
The benefit with working with us and working in a small business is that you're talking to me directly. You're not talking to a automatic, voicemail. You're not talking to AI. You're not talking to 3 different people before you get to the actual, root cause. You're talking to me directly. So anything that's issued, I fix it, we fix it. We go and, evaluate the situation and get it fixed as soon as possible. There's no, you got to get to 5 people to get to me first. We get it done and fixed.
There you have it, everybody. Experts in our community taking the opportunity to help and starting a small business to serve us. And it's great to have experts like this on. Thank you, Francisco.
Thank you.
You're watching the Your Little Castle Show. Stay tuned for more, everybody. Giddy up.